Yes.
Everyone needs a sidekick. When you lead in an event, you need a sidekick. Arlene is my sidekick, and I have another sidekick, is Anara. So we've got two people assisting today to make sure that this event goes well and that you guys get value from it. So this is from Sedated to Captivated, how to create compelling slides. And the way we're working is it's an office hours where you get to share your slides and I will help you to up-level them. But what I want to do is just do a brief introduction if I can. So I'm going to go back to my slides. And there's our little title here. And if anyone didn't see the landing page, we had this one as well. We had a lot of fun creating this. And then, you know, we were thinking about the Hollywood theme. It's like, are you afraid of presenting slides? You know, when you think about it, it's kind of scary, right? So before I go further, I just want to illustrate that we have the reactions button at the bottom. And if you click on that reactions button, you want to click raise your hand if you want to come to stage and share your slides, or if you have a question, because this is a Q&A. We also have up here the view where you could set the view to be speaker or gallery immersive. I'm not sure what that means, but they have that choice as well. And then down over here is where you can turn your video on or off, or also your audio. So that's how the Zoom works. And at the end of this, I have a surprise. Okay, I'm going to unveil my surprise, but I'll have to wait till the end. So just so you know who I am, I am a presentation design expert. I have my team. We are all wrapped around picturing a world where all slideshows are like a Hollywood movie. And I love strategizing with clients about their slides and what is going to up-level them to really match their expertise when they're delivering their content. What I love to do is I get to do what I love every day, and that's creating graphics for clients that really speak visually to what they're talking about. And I love up-leveling their slides, up-leveling their websites, whatever it is. But, you know, it wasn't always this way. When I was in 5th grade, I really saw how much I loved to do artwork. I would draw in my room for hours. And in art class at school, that just really was my favorite time of day, next to PE. And I entered this art contest at school and I won 2nd place. And I came home, I was so excited. I showed my mother, and I could hear my father in the background, my stepfather. He says, "You'll never make money as an artist." Are you kidding me? I was devastated. I swear he didn't get my passion. And, you know, he just made me become this really passionate, committed person to prove him wrong. So I got good grades in school. I got a art degree in college. And for the next 30 years, I worked on my craft as a graphic designer. And I worked for various companies in their art departments. And even before computers, I learned the skills of creating slide design, working with an event company. I've got to work the events of live rooms of events, like this is a hotel in Hollywood. I can't remember the name right now, but we were doing a fundraiser for Paul Mitchell. And so this was cool because I got to be in front where the stage, I could see the stage. And a lot of times I'm behind the curtain. But, you know, working live events, being backstage, helping speakers get to stage and look great. I love doing that. Here's a small list of some of the clients I've worked with. And when people see me speak, I tell them how you can create 1,000 more words in your talk than what you can speak, and how that memory of those visuals can really help them remember what you're saying. I also talk about how the brain retains information from a visual sense, and you know, how that helps them to like remember, and you know, it's known as limbic messaging. I have stories of working backstage and witnessing performances that were pretty good and maybe some that weren't so good. And I know how important it is for that audience to have that great experience. So I want you to know I am committed to be here for you and as an advocate for your audience, because I want you to know, what is your audience thinking when you're up there on stage and they're trying to consume your information and take it away with them? Is it going to generate a higher retention? Are they going to be bored? My life's mission is to make a difference for 1 million audience members by working with 1,000 speakers. So that is my commitment. Hopefully you can partner with me and make that happen, because I want everyone to know that death by PowerPoint no longer exists. Let's cure that pandemic. And I want to create a place where engaging slides up-level the conversation and leaves the audience feeling glad they came and their time was well spent. Wouldn't we all love that? So, you know, on top of that, my commitment is to abolish the boring slide. I tell people whenever I speak, I promise you'll never look at a slideshow the same way again after this. And I think most everyone who has seen my work has agreed. So that's a little bit about me. I'm gonna stop sharing for a second and see everybody. So we've got more people here. Awesome. If you have slides that you did not submit to me, but you wanna hop on stage and go over your slides. Sue Wilhite, I do have your slides, so you're on deck. But go ahead, either raise your hand or put a message in the chat box that you have some slides. Arlene can drop the Dropbox link if you want to upload your slides, or we can have you share your screen. The benefit of me looking at your slides, though, is I can quickly maneuver things and show you different ways of doing it. So that's always helpful. Let's see. Anybody have slides other than Sue?
Elizabeth Duncan Hawker does.
Oh, goody.
So I'm going to put I'll put the link in the chat.
Okay. Let me open up Sue's then.
So the link is in the chat that you can click on. It's a Dropbox link that you can just drag your slides in there and we'll be able to see them.
Okay. So let me see. I'm going to, where do I want to present from? I'll present from my first screen. We're going share from the desktop. Okay. So this is a PDF that Sue gave me of her slides. And, you know, first off, what I like to do when I look at a set of slides is I like to look at slide sorter view. But because we're in PDF, we can't see slide sorter view. So I'm just going to cheat and go to organized pages. And then that just shows me little thumbnails of all the slides.
Right.
It takes a second to render though. I hope.
Can you repeat what you just said? You did just now?
Yeah. So what I like to do when I first look at slides is I like to look at them in slide sorter view. So that's the little, you know, thumbnails of all the slides so I can get a sense of what they all look like. And for some reason, this is not going to generate. So I guess I can't do that.
Where do we find that? Where do we find the slide sorter?
Well, this is not PowerPoint. This is a PDF. So I had to kind of use the Adobe Acrobat Pro to get into where it can edit, and then I can see the thumbnails. So when I first look at this, I just want to acknowledge you, Sue. Great job for not using a bunch of white backgrounds. Thank you. You're saving us all. If people haven't seen me talk before, I talk about, you know, if you want to bore your audience, do all your slides on a white background. And that's because our eyes go to the light. And if the background's light and everything else is dark, we have to conjugate in reverse what is being said. And it takes 10 times more brain power. And after about 10 minutes of that, your audience is brain dead. And they can't listen. They can't look at your slides. You just killed them off. And so when I say that, when you look at these slides today, notice that. Notice, okay, how am I seeing this and how is it helping me to convey the information and stuff? So in slide sorter view, I see you have, you know, some branded colors going on. You've got some consistency in pictures. I mean, it's not a bad job, okay? I do have some comments though to up-level it. So let's go back out of, let's see, where do I go? Closed. All right. So this is an older deck, right? From 2020, or are you still using it? Sue, do you want to be spotlighted, Sue?
Sure.
Okay.
Although if you're sharing, it makes it a little trickier.
What do you mean?
I thought if you were screen sharing, you couldn't spotlight as well.
I think
there we go. I'm just sideways.
So first, what I noticed is this is a slide aspect ratio that's for an older screen. Okay, we call this 4:3. And normally in that, actually the last 10 to 15 years, we've been doing 16:9, which is the widescreen. Like all our televisions now are widescreen. If you go into Zoom and you present this, you'll notice black bars on the side. So you want to know that you have more real estate to use. That's why I recommend going a widescreen. And I use PowerPoint mostly, but I'm not exclusive to PowerPoint. And this is not about using PowerPoint, it's about what you put on your slides. So just when you're in PowerPoint, it opens to a different format than 16:9. So you always want to open it and change your page setup so it's 16:9. So that's one thing. The next thing, let me just flip through a couple of slides here. And I'm just going quite a bit fast because, our eyes look at stuff and we can completely get what they're saying in the gist very quickly. But what slows me down is this purple border because I have this yellow edge. And so my eye keeps popping to that edge and it distracts me from really enjoying this picture. So I would get rid of the border. And anytime you have a picture like this, I would go full frame to the edge. Because any kind of edge like this, actually people think it's a design element or it's white space, but in a full picture, you want to immerse yourself in that limbic message of what that picture can tell you. And then you can take the text and just put it in a text box down over here in the kind of the blank area of the picture. Okay. Same thing here, you could go full screen and then put the text on the side or something, especially in a 16:9 wide, this picture will be fine. And you might crop off a little bit on the top so you can get as much of the picture as possible. But you'll see once you do that, your slides take on a different effect. That's the Hollywood effect, where your images are, front and center.
So I have a question about that.
Okay.
One of the things that I've struggled with when I've tried to use photos and putting text on top of photos is getting the text color to work, because light and dark changes and all of that. And so I try to use my branded colors, but they don't always show up properly on the photos.
Okay, so I'm going to address that when we get it back into PowerPoint. If someone else has some slides in PowerPoint, I can show you how I would fix that. Or I could show you from my deck that I created for this talk today. So great question. I'm taking a note now so that I can make sure I can address that. And so let me just go through a couple of more here. So, okay. Again, this could be, full frame. Do you see how this can be distracting now?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Same here. Beautiful picture. So much expression, right? But it's taken away by all the graphics on the slide. These people that buy these templates and they have these design elements, like a little circle over here and then a square over there and color here, it's all distraction. Simpler the better. If you have a logo, yeah, that's fine. We'll design high-end slides for clients, and we might take an aspect of their logo and create a graphic in the background that's very subtle. And it almost looks like, a curtain on stage or something. It's very innocuous, but it gives that subliminal message of this is their content. Okay. So, okay, now notice the title. What if you could? I go to the next slide. It didn't move at all. Perfect. But then it jumped down here.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah. This is a pet peeve that I've had to fix on live events over and over again is we'll get decks from the executives and we'll have to go fix these things. This is one of the big pet peeves, is making sure things don't jump around. See, that jumped around again.
Yeah.
And it takes a hit on your continuity when you do that.
Right.
What photos are different widths though? As long as the heights are the same, they can go wider a little bit? Or do you really make sure you chop every picture to exactly the same dimensions?
Oh, you're talking about when you have pictures here?
Right. I can see lining up at the tops and the bottoms, but they might be different widths.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I would probably do the top and bottom, you know, so that those lines, because you have the text lines and everything, so making the top and bottom line up, and then they could be different widths based on what's in the picture.
Great.
And then here you have text over a picture. I would just move it over to the more of the blank area. Like you could wrap this into 2 words. Are you ready? And so then it's not so hard to read off this white window area, and it's not overlapping. Like this is a main content we're looking at, so it's kind of overlapping. Here's, I like this. So see the title, the Permission to Profit program, and then here the title went bigger. It doesn't line up, but you don't really notice that it doesn't line up. It actually got bigger. So I like this. The only comment I have about this slide is I think the letter spacing looks amateur to me. You know, advertising agencies, graphic designers, they always are very sensitive to kerning and letter spacing. And there is an aspect where you can tighten the letter spacing to make it almost touching, but it helps readability. And there was a time within the last 30 years where it was cool to space letters out, but you know, that's a fad and it's gone. So it really, in my view, it looks like desktop publishing than true graphic design. I distinguish those two as, you know, amateur versus professional. So I'm giving you all my tricks, right? See, this is good. The text on the picture works. Stage 1, create your P2P formula. I would tighten the line spacing. So the rows of words are tighter together. So that's called line spacing. So again, with the kerning and line spacing, you can completely change the look and feel of it when you understand that. Okay, and then what's this white thing behind the dolphin? Was it because it was a photo and you couldn't get rid of it?
Yes.
Okay, Arlene, I want you to pull the link that we like to use to get rid of our backgrounds.
I tried that, and on this particular photo, for whatever reason, it made the dolphin look like it had been through a shark attack.
Arlene, you know what I'm talking about?
I absolutely do.
Okay.
If there's a better tool, I would love it, because my dolphin.
This tool is amazing. In fact, I don't know, Arlene, if you can pull this PDF, it's in our folder where our where our marketing folder is for today's talk. Or no, it's in the folder where they download.
I'll get it.
Grab this one image and then run it through, and then I want you to share your screen and show them how it works. Okay.
That's something you do for people, or that's something you're showing us how to do?
I'm actually showing you how to do it.
Where is
But
that?
I can
Is there
do
a
it for
link
you
to that
too.
tool? Is there a
What's
link to
that?
that tool?
What?
Is there a link to
is.
the tool?
Yeah. Okay,
Where?
so we'll fix that. Oh, I love this photo. Why do I love this photo? Because of the faces and the repetitiveness. You know, it's like I see their faces, I see their smile, I see their bright eyes, they're looking at me. And then I see there's 2 of them. And then I read stage 4, replicate yourself. Perfect image, perfect choice, good job. And then these are great too. And then, okay, so here, see how everything moves? It keeps jumping up and down, the title or the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think there was one that was off screen at all. I don't know, but yeah, so just be sure you line things up. And the quickest way, you know, whether you're using Keynote or PowerPoint, is just to copy that picture on the first slide, go to the next slide and paste, and it should line up exactly where it is. And then see how the Permission to Profit program headline moved. And then this, to me, is hard to read. Why? Well, 3 things. One is everything's the same size. Everything is bold, and it's align centered. So our eye has to search for the edge of the line each time it goes to the next line. So you might want to create this differently. And I could show you some offer slides that I've done that just create more readability. But what I do like what you did was this, where you lined it up and you changed the color and you said, is this a different program, or, oh, it's the pay plan. It's the payment plan. So I love that. That was good. And
one thing you don't also don't want to do is end up in the middle of a phrase, breaking a phrase up.
right. Where do you see that?
Well, like for instance, here with revenue, where it's the
Mhm.
revenue, where she first had it, like a 50K in revenue.
Yeah, I would put in on the next line.
Okay.
Good point. Who said that?
It's Frank.
Frank, thank you so much.
I'm a writer, and I mean, graphics thinking in terms of that. I mean, I've been involved with advertising a little bit, and just a lot of life experience.
No, appreciate you saying that, because I mean, it's partners like you that we're on the same team, and we just want people to look better and understanding. Like we have a term called a soft wrap or a soft return. And if you're typing in Word or something and you hold down, is it the shift key in return? I think it's shift return. It does a soft return. So I do a soft return on the in and then revenue, and they'd be on the same line, because if you had spaces between paragraphs, that soft return won't create that space like a paragraph space is. So, and that's it. So that's your slide. So any questions on what I said? Is there something that I didn't address that you have a question for, Sue?
No, the biggest question I had was the one about text on photos and how to make
Okay.
that stand out, because that was something, I mean, I managed it on a couple of them, but I gave up on the majority of the slides, as you saw, that it's like, forget it. I'm not a graphics designer. I can't deal with this.
Well, this one
I'm
here
not a
too.
graphics designer.
This one here too that you have, it would be good if it was colored the same color. You don't have a white box, that it would just be the lady in the yellow.
Are you talking about the picture in the slide?
The last picture that you showed, the last.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I stopped sharing. Let me
'Cause
pull
you-
it up
the
again.
same thing as you had that where the
So say your comment again.
yeah, so that you have a yellow, so instead of having a white box, you'd have this all be the yellow around her.
So isolating her from the background.
Yeah, so that the white, so that you wouldn't have a white box, you'd have the yellow of the rest of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So
being
that's
around her.
that's the program that Arlene's pulling up to
And I
share.
just did make a screen capture of Sue's picture, so we can use her picture too to show you.
Okay.
how great
You want to
that
show
is.
us real quick?
I'm ready. Let me share my screen. So what it is it's, I have to hide my Skype, my Zoom. Hang on one second. I'm sorry. So this is just, it's called remove.bg, right? And it's as simple as this. You can, like, here's Sue's picture. You just drag it, you drop it anywhere. And what you get a free low res version, or you can pay for high res. And what's nice about the high res is that it's like we bought, I think.
It's 99 cents.
Yeah, I personally bought my own because I'm like, I love this. I need this for my own personal photos.
And look how fast it was. And it saves it as a transparent PNG so that you can place
drop
it
it
in
in
your.
any background. Right, and then it just, it's just awesome.
That's as good as Photoshop does. But you don't have to buy Photoshop or learn all the tools of Photoshop. So
Right.
I put the link in the chat if you guys want to check that out. It's pretty cool. Arlene turned me on to that. I didn't even know it existed. It's like, oh, we got to share this with our group.
Bridget, Canva can do it these days too.
Yeah, but if you have to have a paid account, I think, to do that.
I do, so maybe.
Yeah.
Bridget, do you have an affiliate code for this?
I do. That's what's in the chat there.
Actually, it's not. I can't find that code. There is.
I just dropped it in there, Arlene. I just dropped it in there.
In the chat? Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
But even things like as silly as, like, those were pretty clear cut. Like, this is my son with his baby years ago. But if you look at it, all this mess, he's got his little hair, he's got this crap in the background, fuzzy pillow. And then when you drop that in there, you would think, how clear is this going to be? It was
Wow.
awesome.
I know, right? That is a wow factor.
It was crazy how good it was. And
Great demo.
like, if you look, like, you can even see the hair. His hair is smooth, the edges of the blanket. So it's like, it just is, it's an extremely cool tool.
Arlene, that picture looks like a baby holding a baby. Your son.
Because you know Alex, right? Okay, back to Zoom. I'll stop sharing now.
All right, cool. All right, so anybody else have slides yet, Arlene? Did anyone else submit anything?
Yes, there are. There are two
Oh, I see a
different
bunch.
slides in there.
Okay, so we're gonna go through order here. Elizabeth, you're coming up. And it's another PDF. Okay, good. So go ahead and unspotlight Sue, and you can spotlight Elizabeth.
Okay. Sue is not spotlighted. Elizabeth.
And I'm being
is-
very vulnerable, y'all, because is not as good as Sue's. So mine will be the learning demo for everybody. Just saying, Bridget.
You know what? I'll treat you well. I promise.
Thank you. Thank you. Just all transparency.
Yes, okay. So tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I'm a best-selling author and a coach and a trainer. This was a presentation I did Tuesday for a organization, a retail organization. And it was about an hour talk. And the concept was I was teaching them about customer service and connecting with others so they grow customer loyalty.
Okay,
And I didn't have a call to action. So the third slide in, Bridget, is my attempt, and it actually worked out well, to create a call to action to get their emails.
very good. Congratulations, that's a win right there. Awesome.
It is, but I don't know how it looks. So I welcome your input.
Okay, well, if you haven't seen me speak, you know, it's got the white backgrounds. It's like the #1 rule to break. And it's a typical, this looks like a typical slide that anyone does, right? So that it's not unique. It's not branded for you. It's not special. Okay. So it's like, and this is pervasive. Everybody does this. I'm not trying to single you out. I'm just trying to send a message here of like, how can we do this differently? And a lot of it starts with, if I were to ask you which 3 slides are the most important slides that you want them to remember when they walk away today and remember 3 weeks from now, if you could tell me the slide numbers.
Could you make it bigger?
I don't think so. No.
Yes, you can. Down the bottom right corner, Bridget, there's that
Oh.
little thing that looks like mountains.
See, that's why everyone needs an Arlene Klein.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
You can make it
So,
even bigger. So
Is
we
that
can
big
see
enough?
better.
okay, so the 5th slide there with the heart.
Okay.
Yep, I think that's number 5.
Okay.
And then I can't read what the other one is, but the guy with the head in the ground.
Okay. I love that.
Okay, and
That's
then
11.
okay, and then all the way down at the bottom, I would say my last slide, because I want him to remember me and book me, which is number, what is it, 21? The yellows.
This one?
Yeah.
21. Okay. So what was the numbers, Arlene? Did you write it down for me?
I did not. I'm
Even though I
sorry.
didn't-
11.
11.
5, 11, and 21. Okay, good. All right. So let's close this.
And Bridget, I have to tell you, so the ones that are kind of blue, it's because I heard your voice earlier, but I didn't know how to like make the rest of everything.
Oh, I see, like
That's
this one.
because of you, my friend, right there.
All right. She's listening. I love it.
Yes, you really don't want to have white in the background. You want to have a muted something. I mean, so that it's not quite white. It's got to be a little gray in it in the background.
Yeah.
Otherwise
Because it's
just-
still too stark.
Well, it's like, just think about it. If you put a white flashlight in somebody's face, all of a sudden it's like, oh, it's just.
Yep. Very much so.
Especially as you change from one dark slide to another white, white slide. It's like, whoa, wait a minute.
It's like the cops pulled you over at night and
Yeah.
put the flashlight in.
The blue and red light.
So like
And
for
you-
this
you-
one.
You are going to show us, right, how to like kind of change that background, because I'm still not there. I didn't do it yet.
Yeah, but I have to do it in a PowerPoint, and people are giving me PDFs, so I can't make changes to their slides. I can just talk about them.
There
Oh, I
are
thought
2
that-
slideshows in there, Bridget.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
All right,
thought.
so keep me on track, Arlene, so we can get through all of them, you know?
Okay.
So track how much time I need to spend with each person. But okay, so this is number one. This was your most important one that you want them to remember the day you gave up. So what my suggestion is take that picture, go full frame. Okay, no background at all. And the day you gave up could go in this white space here. Okay, and I'd probably lay it out the day I gave up, something like that.
And even that white space, you can just tone in a little bit of a gray or blue into.
Yeah, I think that's beyond, I mean, you know, when you're finding pictures and stuff, most of these people don't have Photoshop. I mean, if they want to do that, they can ask me to do it for them, but I think most people aren't that graphically intensive to do that. So I don't recommend that, but it's a good idea. I agree. You know, you have to really look at where do your eyes go when you pick the image that you pick. When you see most of my images, they're very rich in color, and the eye moves harmoniously throughout the slides. So we'll get to more of that in a minute. So then the next one was 11, right? Okay, again, full frame on the image. All right. And then you say, how do you know where to improve? You know, you could just have the title there or have nothing. You don't need to have the rest of the text. Just say the text.
So
Okay,
when you say, Bridget, go full frame, you mean the image should have been the image and
Yeah.
then just a line up above it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
so
then-
I'm trying to put too much on there. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So no text or
Okay.
just a minimal of the title if you need it.
Okay.
Just have the picture big and then write how do you know where to improve and superimposed on the picture.
Yeah, I just said that. Okay. And
Yeah,
then
and
the
I know
last
how to
number-
do that. That's just moving an image front or backwards for everybody. I'm that tech savvy.
Well, and it's the aspect ratio of this image is going to have to bleed off somewhere. And so where I would crop it is, I don't know if you could see my mouse, but you know, I would probably crop it more like that. So,
Oh.
so you get that whole width, but you don't want to cut him off. You want to cut the sky off, right? Because this is the focal point.
Like
And
you
then
said,
what's
where
the
the eye
last-
goes to.
Yeah. What's the last slide?
It's my call to action for them to contact me.
Okay. So with this one, it's like the text is big. It's all the same size. I don't know what to read because my eye's fighting to look at the pictures, and then there's that white background. So it's just,
Oh, okay.
it's like that mail you get, the throwaway mail, the horrible designed mail that actually more people open than you would realize. It's kind of like that. It's just too much noise. So how would I make this differently? Well, first of all, I put it on a dark background because then your pictures are going to show so much better. I would crop your left picture in so that you and the person next to you are bigger and that you can see the table more. So if I were to crop this, you know, maybe crop it to the same aspect as this so that they line up and they're congruent, and then,
Okay.
you know, crop it something like that.
Oh, that looks
even-
good.
Or even more, you know, where you can see some of the table, but you also see their faces. Because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at faces. We're going to look at their eyes. And so if you can bring that out better, like this one, you probably didn't have enough room on the end for her. So I would have probably cropped her equally just to not minimize her.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah, no, that's a brilliant catch. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
okay. So you said, so is it too many words or is it because you said the words were too big?
Yeah, words too big. Book Elizabeth to speak or for a book signing. You can just say that. And all you have to do is say Book Elizabeth and then the link. Okay. And then join us 11/27 shop local Saturday at DeWitt's. Could be a separate slide. And it could be the same slide, but you just, or you just reveal that as a second thing. But I make the text a little bit smaller. And, you know, just, you have to play with sizing and stuff to see what's going to be more appropriate. It's hard for me to demonstrate that because I can't edit the slide.
Yeah. And I'm
But then-
sorry. I didn't realize I sent you the PDF version.
That's okay.
Thank you for looking at this. That's great.
You're welcome. All right.
Very
Okay, so
helpful.
Fun. Good to see you,
there are two
Elizabeth.
more that are actually PowerPoints, Bridget.
Perfect. Okay. Who's
Ruth and
next?
Carlos.
Ruth. All right. Let's bring Ruth to the stage.
Okay.
Ruth, tell us what you do.
I have my own business. I've been in network marketing for 30 years now with the same company. And what I put this business, this presentation together for is I wanted to have a way that I could send this, create a video around it and be able to just give an brief overview of what I do for somebody to have a look at it.
So you want to turn these slides into a video and have voiceover or
Yes,
something?
that's right.
Okay, very good. Based on what you've heard so far, what do you think of your slides?
I think they're not too bad. I was worried that they were going to be really bad. And because I feel like the other person that said, ooh, I don't think they're too bad, but I'm wondering if maybe I have too much on one slide, if I maybe need to, and I noticed that I noticed that I had taken a picture off one of them and it's still there. So I must not have saved it.
Okay.
But yeah, I took notes though. You had lots of good points.
I could see how some of the slides are from their marketing and then some
Yes,
you've created.
I definitely used pictures from that I could access that, I didn't have to go find on the internet.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna present and switch screens. So I love this slide. I mean, it's beautiful, right? It's a beautiful picture. It's a little hard to see the love your life because the sun is right there. It's like I'm looking into the sun.
Right.
If I were to design this, I'd probably move it over to the right, and so it's not dead center, or move the picture so it's not sun is not dead center. That's the only issue I have with this, but otherwise it's a great limbic picture, right? You look at this road and imagine what it's like to walk down that road, on sunrise or something. Okay, so what I would do too is add a transition, which is like a soft fade, because see how it just cut to the next slide, and then you have 1 trillion pops up right away, which is fine.
Okay.
And again, I'd probably get rid of the white, and I would also maybe suggest a darker green, because the green's still pretty light, and it's better than white, but it still has that effect of the light, and then the timing and trends, that color should be more consistent or, more different than the background color. It's too close to the background color. So my suggestion would be change to a darker green, and let's
Maybe
see.
closer to the one that says green there.
Yeah, it could be like, I don't know, does Shackley have a green color? Do they have branded colors?
Yes, yeah, and
Okay.
they do have yes, they do have a branded green color.
Because it could be this dark green here, right?
Yes,
So I'm just going to go through these real quick.
Okay.
This is weird that it's off like this. I would lay these out differently.
okay.
Okay. What are you trying to say here? We have
It's
trips,
just
right?
different. These are different. There's 4 different types of trips that you can qualify for. So I'm wondering if it would be better to crop them down so that they're not overlapping so much, and maybe it's circles or something like that. Would that
Yeah.
work?
So
Okay.
we'll work on that in a minute. Let me just scroll through the rest of these. This is nice.
Okay.
This picture though, I would zoom in more, because this
Okay.
white thing here makes it look like the picture's cropped out. So my eye kind of thinks this is a mistake in cropping.
Okay.
So I would make their heads bigger. I usually, when I see stuff like this, I like all the heads the same size.
Okay.
Like these heads are zoomed in more because they're smaller, but you could do that with all of them, or you could have a consistency of like these two. This one's a little smaller than this head, but when we do stuff like this, we create a little template. We say all the eyes will line up here, the face, the nose and lips will line up vertically, and the lips will line up here, so that when we do overlays and line up the size of the photos, they all look consistent. And that just heightens the brand of what you're conveying there, and it makes everyone look equal. This to me looks amateur, and it's like,
That's me. That's the amateur. I'll admit it.
it's just, well, how would I make this different? How would I, because it looks like anyone would do that, right? How would we make this different, unique and special? So that would be something I'd want to look at. And then these could be bigger. You could make this picture bigger, you know. And like, this is a beautiful picture, right?
Okay.
This isn't too bad. How many more slides do you have?
Not too, I think that's
Okay.
the last one.
Okay, why do I like this slide? I like this slide because my eye immediately went through here, scanned that, went down here, then went down her body and then back up, right? So it's like your eyes stay here, and it's like, I don't necessarily really read that. I circle around really quick, but because of her body position, how her feet went, it went back up here, and that's why I really liked it.
Okay.
So I tell people, I teach them how to track where their eyes go when they look at ads and stuff. And it's like, how many times have you been in a doctor's office waiting for 45 minutes and there's a stack of magazines there? Pick up a magazine and just look at the ads and ask yourself, where does my eye go when I look at this? Does it start in the top left? Does it start in the bottom right? Where does it go? And then when you do that enough, it's like a muscle. You can see quickly when you're laying things out. I mean, this is a practice that graphic designers do. How's the audience going to see, and how are they going to move through the pictures? So that's just another tidbit. Now let me see here. I want to go into the master
Yeah,
slide.
you don't want to have a point, somebody pointing off the edge of your
right.
screen, because then people are going to look at what they're pointing at, and it's tracking them away from what you want them to see.
Right. Very true. All right. So this is your template. Did you know you had all these choices in slides?
No.
You didn't. But you had one slide and you just duplicated it, right?
Yes, pretty much. And I mean, I've been doing this a long time, and I never even taken a course or anything with PowerPoint. I just kind of learned it as I went along.
Oh, well, I acknowledge you for jumping in, you know. Come on in, the water's warm. So you can see there's a bunch of different templates here, and some of them are probably branded with their theme, but some of them were added. You know, like I don't see any branding on these sites, so these could have been added or something. But you have all these choices when you go into, so here I am again, I'm just going into a new slide. And it just popped in a slide here. I didn't want to do that. I just want to show, like, these are the choices. If I want a new slide and I want it to look like that, I just select
And that's
that
just
slide.
at the top, is it? Is it just at the top of when
Yeah.
you're in your PowerPoint?
Yeah, so when you're in home,
Mhm.
I'm on a Mac, PC is very similar, but
Okay.
you just say new slide, or if you're on a slide and you want to change the layout, you can change the layout. So right now you're using this title slide that's no color. If I were to change this to one of the darker backgrounds, what would happen? Let's see, let's try this one. So you can see you have other layouts to it, but it immediately can change the look and feel if you're kind of staying with the template mix. But for now, you don't have a template tied here. So if we were to change the color of this background, let me see. Here it is. The shape fill. So I'm just gonna, okay, so they have dark background in
Go a
their
little
color
slower,
palette.
Bridget. Go a little slower so we can see what you're doing. Okay, now
Okay.
you're cooking.
So I'm just choosing the theme colors that you have in your well already. And I'm using this dark green here. So usually when you have a template that's designed by, you know, an agency or a designer that understands color, they'll fill that color with what you need. So why is this not changing? Is this?
Is that because I've done it? It's probably,
No.
it's because I've been using it so much. It's all my stuff.
Okay, and there's no line there. So you can see how a little bit different already this is. So that's what I would say for that lime green is get rid of the lime green. And then is there any way to get rid of the white? I would play with that. So, okay, and then we wanted to talk about the pictures.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite things is if I double click on a picture, where's my, there it is, picture format. And
Yes.
I like to do, like, it looks like a photo from a, what do you call it? Photo album.
And like, you see how I used others, like I said,
That's okay.
amateur.
No. So the line on this, I can change the thickness of the line. Why is it not showing me a line? Is it?
Probably one of the reasons why I chose the picture sizes that I did too, because I wanted to cover up what was already there. But now with the knowing how to add another slide with the same template, I'll use a new one.
So it's funny, it's a solid line, but it's not giving me the edit function. So when I click solid line, then I have to resize it, bring it up to about an 8. And so I'm just getting a look and feel that that line doesn't really dominate, right?
Right.
And then here's the super trick. You ready?
Yes.
I'm going to select this image. I'm going to go up to the home and I'm going to select the paint format. And I'm actually going to double click on the paint format so it loads paint on my brush the whole time. So when I pull away, you can still see it's highlighted. And then I just go and apply that to all the pictures. Now this one, I think it has its own.
Yes, it's
Oh,
part.
yeah,
It's part of the whole thing.
Gotcha. So I'm going to duplicate, or no, I'm going to insert a new blank slide. And what I want to do is I just want to take these pictures and move them for a second. To see what we have here. So it's like you don't want to show these pictures. Is that correct? But you
Yeah,
want
those are older ones. So I wanted to update the pictures.
So I'm double clicking because this is a picture itself, right? With text on it. And I'm just going to crop out the pictures. So I can't, not sure why that gray thing is there. Might be a design element, but now I have a clean slate where I can put my pictures. And then I can see how to lay them out. So first of all, they are kind of big, right? And I'd probably want to lay them out kind of like I'm looking at a photo album or something. And how would they lay out, you know, with the text around there? And would I put this on top, maybe bring this one to the front? And so you can play with the layering and stuff. And then just, you know, where's the white space? Where's the creative white space that lets you kind of rest your eyes, but also lets you move around? That's what has me decide where and when will I put a picture and how big. Okay. So that's what I didn't save your old one. So we don't have a comparison, but that is my short trick to getting several photos on a page that, you know, looks
good.
It's more orderly for the brain, right? Okay.
Mhm.
And then this last one here, I think, oh, this is all a picture, so you can't edit that. Okay.
But I can, the only thing I don't know how to do is do those little line things on there. I guess
What line things?
the creating the, but I can put a new picture on.
Creating a line
The,
thing.
you
What's
know,
a line thing?
The photo frame?
what do you call it? Creating a graph where you have a picture and then 3 pictures underneath and a line that connects them all.
Oh, okay. That would probably go beyond this demo, but that would be a great question to ask that I could maybe create a short training video on that. So you're saying, I don't know, let's talk offline on that one.
Okay.
Does that work, Ruth?
Sure.
Okay, I'm gonna save this. Where's my file pull down menu? I lost.
You have too many windows, Bridget.
I think it's like my navigation is gone.
I know, it's up at the top.
I think it's because I have another PowerPoint open. Is that why?
There we go.
How could I have a PowerPoint running in the background? Okay, and I'm just gonna put my initials on here so we have the edited version. All right.
Bridget, I have 2 quick questions that we wanted to ask. In between, we've got another 2 things of slides, another 2 sets of slides. But the 2 quick questions are this. When someone needs to edit a presentation done in Canva, right? Is there a way to convert it to PowerPoint without starting from scratch? Do you know?
Are you unspotlighting her? I just tried it and it went back. Okay. So the question again is what?
When someone needs to edit a presentation done in Canva, is there a way to convert it to PowerPoint? Or do you just have to start from scratch if you?
No, you can export to PowerPoint in Canva, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
Yeah, just when you export the slides, export it as a PowerPoint. You may not have separate elements to edit. I don't know. I worked on a client's deck that was in Canva and I really didn't want to work in Canva, but she was desperate and she needed to speak the next
day.
morning. So I learned Canva and I fixed her slides in 3 hours. And I was actually kind of impressed by Canva. I wouldn't recommend it, but for a lot of people, there's a lot of people out there using Canva and they're putting graphics together. And now that they have this ability to present, what's wrong with it? There are some limitations in creating stuff that Canva has, but can you work around that? So that's the only caveat.
I had one of our attendees said that she thinks that you need a paid account in Canva because she tried downloading it or exporting it as PowerPoint and it just came across as pings. So they were all just PNG files. You couldn't edit them.
Yeah, I think
why you got a PDF.
Okay, because it's a Canva document.
I just had to paste them into a document and save a PDF. I was really annoyed
Oh,
because it was a last minute thing. I thought, I'll just download it as a PowerPoint, and it didn't. And I didn't pay for it, and it just downloaded a bunch of pings.
Right. And so now here's another question, Bridget, and that is something about, this is about the design and about varying the font. You know how people are questioning, using 2 fonts in a consistent manner, like, how we do, one for titles, one for content. I don't know if you have any examples of that you could share or what your input is on that.
I don't have anything prepared to show that. I could do it the next one.
Okay.
I'd have to pull some resources together to do that. But the one thing you can do is an easy way to get fonts that you don't want to use the typical PowerPoint fonts is go to Google Fonts, and they have Google font pairings. So you can see, taking 2 different fonts and pair them together, and they'll show you examples of what that looks like.
Okay, perfect. And so now that I've said that, there is another.
Carlos, right?
There's Carlos. Carlos was here, but he had to leave.
Oh, darn it.
And then he was really interested in what you're doing. And there's also one that says Katie Wagner.
Oh, okay.
And that
Katie
one
here?
Yes.
Awesome. Hi, Katie. Bring her up.
I'm gonna spotlight you. Here we go. No pressure. No pressure.
Hello.
Katie loves the pressure, man. She's a samurai. Come on.
Hello.
Hi.
Do you see them, Bridget?
Yes. Okay. Do you, I have to share my screen, right?
Yes.
Katie, you're a different Katie Wagner. I thought you were someone else that I knew. I apologize.
Nope, that's my sister from another mother.
Okay, good.
We know each other.
You do? Okay, awesome.
Yes, we've met.
Share my screen. All right, so these are in PowerPoint.
I know it's got the dreaded white. I've already got that.
Yeah, but no, when I look at this though, I get kind of excited, right? And what I love about it is like, there's not a lot of text. And so why I get excited is like, I have no idea what you're talking about and I need you to talk to it. Right?
Which is good.
Yeah. So like I look at this one, I was like, what's he going to say to this slide, number 4, or this one's interesting. What's that going to say? So great images. The question is like, what do we do with, the stuff that has a lot of text? How do we fix that? So again, like I asked the others, which are the top 2 or 3 slides that you want them to remember and walk away with?
Oh, well, I wasn't really planning on sharing it, but you didn't have anyone sharing, so I was being brave and just putting it up there. It's about loss, and I couldn't really tell you what each slide says because I haven't done it in a while. So, but the main thing is just it's very brief. It's just called the 6-minute webinar. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not.
Yep.
Yeah. So
All right, so let's just present this and see.
Okay. Yeah, there you go.
So again, with type layout, if everything's the same size, nothing sticks out. And,
Okay,
or everything is screaming out. So again, nothing sticks out. So you wanna try to size the text differently. And how would that be? It's kind of more of a graphic design term, but like, welcome to the 6-minute webinar. Do you really even need to say that?
no, but that, they say you need to say that.
You can say it, but you have to put it on a slide.
Yeah, I guess not.
Yeah, I mean, the graphic is fine. That kind of speaks to it.
Yeah,
You can just say, welcome to the 6-minute webinar. We're going to learn 3 secrets to loss. We're going to punch the pain. We're going to gut the guilt, and we're going to halt the hopelessness. You know, great words. Hi, Pam's raising her hand. That's cool. So, you know, I would probably play with the sizing of the text.
okay.
And then great image, you're just talking, right? And
This is about, would you like to learn to live life again and be happy? And or do you remember when life was fun or something like that? I can't remember the exact wordage.
perfect. And then the pain, right?
Yep. All the questions
Yeah.
that never can be answered. So
Now, is this black and white on purpose?
it's how, yeah, that's how it came. So
Okay. All right. And then this one.
this is just the heartbreak, the devastation, the isolation. You lose everything. I mean, I lost my 2 sons and my entire family in the process because they don't talk to me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
so it's a very lonely place to be. So,
Yes.
but there
This
are
text-
secrets I discovered.
Great. And so this text doesn't need to be that big.
Okay.
Unless you're speaking in a live event where there's 200 seats, you might want to make it a little bigger, but like with Zoom and stuff, the text doesn't have to be that big.
Okay. So
be a
it
little
depends
more-
on where you're at. Is
Yeah.
what you're saying. I got you.
And then this, the white border on this picture is a little too much. I would make
Okay.
it smaller so that it's just a hint of a photo. And then my
Mhm.
promise to you, you don't need to underline that. You already have it bold.
Okay.
You know, the underline is an amateur trick to make things stick out. And how many documents have we seen from the government that everything's underlined?
Yeah. Gotcha.
And then, you know, I would get rid of the white background and
Okay.
put the text there. Again, no need to underline,
I got you.
and the text can be smaller. In fact, I would, you know, the long and winding road, do you have to put that in there? They can see it's a long and winding road.
Right.
So I'd probably take the text off, or, you know, create a text on there that's more appealing.
Gotcha.
Okay, and then you've got your 3 reveals here,
Mhm.
and then a testimonial or someone you
Yeah.
work.
Testimonial. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
See how this has I know that you probably used design art for this one, did you?
PowerPoint.
Yeah, but was that a design, you know, design style?
Design element, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Right?
No, they're just pictures stuck on blank pages.
Okay, so see how this could have had that dark gray as well.
Hmm.
I think it would have been better because my eyes just keep going.
The
to that.
white caught you. Yeah. Yeah.
And then this
Call to
font,
action.
this font is really hard to read,
Okay.
especially in all caps. I mean, I know that serif fonts and the tails and everything helps readability quicker, but for stuff like this, I think, you know, you have different fonts going on and stuff. I think it competes with this. It's not congruent with it.
Okay.
So you want to, like, you know, study better. What are your font pairings?
Okay.
And then here too, I'd make the text smaller. You already have the text bolded. You don't have to underline it.
Gotcha. I'm a big underliner, I can tell.
Are you a writer?
Yeah, well, no, I only wrote three books. It's a trilogy. It tells the story of my 2 sons, and the 3rd book is how I managed to survive. And I'm sitting here laughing with you about it. So
Oh, well, that's good. Welcome to the fun side of life.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let me just play with this for a second. So we're going to get rid of this
Mhm.
and no underlines.
Yeah.
And I would probably use different colors, but for now I don't want to get into color. So, but I just want to play with sizing. And there's something cool about PowerPoint when you double click on this frame,
Mhm.
just go to the edge, not a corner, but an edge of it, and double click on it. You get the format shapes. And in here, you can do top, middle. And watch what happens to the bullets. Nothing happened.
Nothing.
You're supposed to center. Oh, no, wait, a top centered is what I want to, sorry.
There you go.
So notice how they should have centered, it's
They did,
centered
they
on the
moved a little
largest
bit.
one. Yeah, so it's because this one is it indented? No? It's weird how there's less space here over here. Anyway, so just
They
look
is
over
me.
here. Yeah,
Yeah.
look over here and you can kind of see, you know, is it still too big? If I select all and just use this down arrow a little bit, I can see. So, okay, I see why this was set. So that's why it wasn't centered, because it wasn't set.
Yeah,
right.
it's an actual list or whatever you call it.
Mhm.
Mm.
Okay, so you kind of get an idea. And then these lines here, I don't know if they really add to the design. I'm going to just take them off.
Okay.
And then this looks a little distorted, so I'm going to undistort it some.
Okay. More like a
And-
clock. Yeah.
And we could even maybe give it a transparency so it's not so dark, you know, so you kind of have a hint of it.
Mm.
And then this one here, you can actually make color. If you have color, a theme going throughout, you can colorize these pictures. So instead of
Oh,
black and
wow.
white, sometimes black and white is good, but I'm seeing over a picture format, I can go color. And then whatever colors are in my color well, it will pull from. Okay. So let's say I wanted to use the orange. Okay. And then I can do the same thing with this one. So it's just not so gray.
Right.
It just adds a little color. And then, or you could even do this one with a different color. And then this, I would definitely bleed off the edge, because that space in between here and the slide edge was bugging me.
I got you.
Now I distorted that, but this image, you know, it can suffer a little distortion. You wouldn't notice it, but you'll
Right.
notice now it's a little cleaner.
Right.
Your eyes don't get stuck in that space that's created at the top and bottom.
This is the first time I ever made one too, by the way. So.
Well, you know what? You're better than most.
Bridget, one question I'd have is, would it be better to have those switches, those two slides switched as far as the order? Because
I
it's
don't know.
not
I don't know
clear.
what her story is. Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
don't know. Yeah.
It's not clear what the where, why, and not, but obviously the one is dealing with grief, the one with the heart and the bleeding. I would switch that with the where, what, why, how, if you think, you think that would be better?
I'm not talking about order of the slides and that. I'm just talking about design right now. So I'm not enveloped into what slides should they be. We usually do that in a strategy session. So I really don't, I couldn't answer that because I'm not in that realm right now. I'm looking at what's on the slide and what makes sense visually. So, see what I did was I reduced the slide, the text, and then I put it in an area where it kind of mimics this edge here. You see how that works?
Yeah. That's
If
kind
I kept it here, it just looks a little disjointed, you know? So you can actually move text around and place it in areas of the picture that work better. And then here, does this have a frame to it? Oh, it just has a white box.
Yeah.
Okay, so this must be one of those design elements because I can't get rid of the white box. It's not part of the template. So what I would do is I'm just going to create a new blank slide. Actually, I wanted to save that. Let's duplicate it and make it a blank slide. Okay, so I'm going to go full frame with the picture. When in doubt, go full frame.
Oh,
And as I make it bigger, you know, just to the edge here, I can see over here, like, what does it look like? And you'll
Yeah.
notice this has a different feel than if it was up a little more. So
Yeah.
like, what would you want to do? And then I'm going to send it to the back. And how do we place this text? I'm a sans serif girl. I love sans serif text. So I'm just going to take away all the wraps just to see what do we want to, where do we want to put this? And I don't know if I would go all caps.
Yeah.
Not all caps, I'm sorry, bold. So it's got an area bold. I want to see if it's a lighter color. Where's my Arial? I have too many fonts.
You have very many. You know, I think that something that you should say too, Bridget, is that trick of looking at the thumbnails on the left-hand side to see how the slide really looks. I mean, because it's so helpful, because when you're looking at it large, you kind of lose perspective, or you really don't know how it's, you know, laying out. When you see it in the thumbnail, you have no idea. I mean, you absolutely can see.
And you could just enlarge the thumbnails too, so you can isolate, you know, what am I looking at? Because if I were to put this in the hands, you know, and make it smaller and
That's
make it
kinda
more of a
cool.
hint, it is kind of cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you could put a transparency on the text, so it's not so stark white. Where's the transparency? There it is.
Oh,
So it's just an echo.
Sorry.
Right? So you had this one. Notice where our eye goes. It's dominated by that border.
Yeah.
And then trying to read the text underlined, it's like, you know, I hate the word, but it's amateur.
Thanks.
But do you see how it has more of that movie quality?
Yeah, very powerful. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. And then the last one. Okay, let's just the long and okay, sorry, I don't want to sing.
That's what makes you think of though.
So if you wanted to put text in, this is going to address Sue's question of how do I put text on a photo, right?
Mhm.
That was your question, right, Sue? Yeah, she's nodding. Okay, so I'm going to do upper lowercase. Where's my upper lowercase? Sentence. Maybe we'll go capitalize each word and not italics. Just for now, I just want to play with the basic of the font and center it. And then here's how we tighten up the line spacing. So I just go to character spacing and I want to say condensed. And I can change the condensed to different levels. So maybe I want to make more condensed. So let's try that. And there's like 7 different ways you can go into this menu to get condensed, but it may not be.
Character spacing is under font. Is that where you're at?
Yeah, you can also access it. I don't know if you can, that's line spacing. Yeah, so you go to font, format, font, and then character spacing. Okay.
Mhm.
So notice how different that looks already. I didn't save the other one. I always like to save to compare, but I mean, even this is way too big. Again, it could be just a hint. And it's just an echo of what you're trying to say here. And there's several ways you can add text. I mean, the white on this is fine. I don't know if I would do anything else, but in some cases, like we might want to put a bar across the top of a color bar because there's so many different colors and whatever's happening, you know, we might want to brand this to a color of the picture. So I'm going to make this text box. I'm in the text box shape options, and I'm going to pick a solid fill and then I'm going to pick from the picture. So I'm going to get my little pointer tool, and I like this dark red. So notice how, you know, we've got a little bit of branding going. And then how do we get this to be centered more? Because it's kind of pushed up to the top. So we want to just, we could go bottom, we could go middle centered, you know, something like that. And then this is the uber big trick, is we could do a gradient fill. And I want to use red in the middle. Actually, I'm going to put red on all of them. So I'm just doing a simple gradient, and I want the edges to be transparent. No, that's not that edge. Okay, so I guess
they got mixed up somehow.
it's a radial.
Oh,
I
it's a
need to do
radial, that's
linear.
why.
So, okay, so linear would be the edges would be transparent. Okay, see how it's going at an angle. So I think I have to go 0. And then this transparent. So you could see like the solid colors in the middle, but it goes transparent on the edges. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with this, just this little thing I'm showing you here. And if I want this to be wider, I'll just click here and make another color and not have it be transparent. So if I want to widen this non-transparency part. So this is a big super uber trick that I'm going to save this screenshot because I want to do a training on this later, talk more about it. But that kind of gives you an idea of, you know, different ways you could add text to a photo where it's just a photo.
Excuse me, Bridget. I
Yeah.
have one quick question. I know that you have something exciting you want to talk about, but Pam has one quick question and she's been waiting patiently.
Yes, you have. So I'm going to save this for you, Katie.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming to the stage. Appreciate you
thank
being
you.
vulnerable and sharing your slides. Pam, what's your question?
So I noticed that when, sorry, I'm not feeling well today. When you copy text from one slide to another, what happens is that it copies the image of the words, and I can't edit the words. Is there a special way to copy when you're copying text from one slide to another that doesn't do that?
I've never had that problem. Let me share my deck. And Arlene, keep me on track here.
I will. I got my eye peeled.
Share screen. Okay, so you're saying that if I were to, I'm on this slide here, and I have a new slide that I want to copy text to, correct?
Right, that my life's mission is to make a difference for 1 million audience members. If I were to copy that text.
Do you copy it like this, or do you copy it like this?
Like that, the second
Okay.
one.
Okay, so I'm hitting my quick keys, Command C on a Mac, Control C on a PC, and then a paste. So that's editable text.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me. When I copy it, like for instance, it could be that text is on a slide, like this is purple, which is my favorite color. It's kind of like this burgundy purple, and I want that as well. But when I go to edit the text, it doesn't edit. It's a picture. It's not where.
So is the text on the first slide picture as well, or is it editable text?
It's editable text. When I copy it to the next slide, it's not. So I was trying to figure out if I'm doing something that's
well, you know what, we might have to go offline and I'd have to see your screen. So,
Okay.
but what I would do, just a workaround, is I would just create a text box that you're going to paste the text in, copy the text as text, and then paste it in that text box and see
Okay.
if that works.
I'll try
And
that.
this actually carried the format as well. I thought it wouldn't, but that's what I would do.
Okay, I'll try that thing.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
All right, so now Bridget has something exciting. I think she called it scary cool or something, but she's got something exciting she wants to talk about.
Right. So let me fast forward to the end of my deck that has thousands of slides in it. So most of you may know that I have a membership site. And when I had my free offer, which I still have, it's called Rise Above the Rest, Top 5 Secrets to Create Compelling Slides That Engage. They would go to my website and sign up for it. And normally I would charge $197 for this, but it's a free hour-long training with 5 videos that shows you how I create these slides that I demo. And we have over 600 members in the site now. It's extraordinary. And they come to the look over my shoulder, and we get to ask their questions. We've been doing this monthly for over a year now. And so my surprise is I have a new aspect of my website, which is a paid version of the membership site. And what you get is you get a lot more curated content. So we have 2 levels right now. There will be a 3rd level coming shortly, but we have the basic level that's $37 a month. And we'll have your own private monthly office hours where you could ask more questions, you get more of my time. I also drip out weekly slide training that's anywhere from 2 to 5 minutes. And these could be modules that I could sell, you know, for up to $64 for these trainings, but you're getting them in the basic membership. And then the VIP membership, you just get more. You get a second office hour, so you have 2 office hours a month, plus you'll get everything in the basics. So there's actually 3 office hours that you have access to if you want. You can also submit questions about trainings. Like some people ask, how do I do this? How do I do that? Let me make a training for it. So we don't offer that at a basic level, but if you're VIP, you could suggest questions and I will actually create a training around that. So then you get the 2 office hours a month. And the special, I don't even have the link, Arlene. I forgot to put it in the slides, but if you want to sign up for this, what's the link, Arlene?
For the coupon code?
No, the membership site. Just send them the link to the membership site.
Exactly. Okay. I'm sorry. I'll put it in the chat.
I have it. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Here, I got it.
Oh, I'm faster. Oh, you're faster.
And if you go there, put in the coupon code today only, use that coupon code and you're going to get 65% off for the first month. So it's a great way to just get a taste of how this membership works, get into those private member office hours, because after I launch, the actual physical launch is going to be November 1st, which is Monday, but you get this special offer early. And oh, I lost my train of thought. So getting into the membership, you get access to those office hours and you'll get access to all the recordings. And we didn't go live to YouTube today, did we, Arlene? We forgot.
Oh, darn it. We were supposed to go live to YouTube.
We got way late on the videos.
We got excited.
Yeah, I was going to have a recording on this on YouTube, but now it won't be there, but we could still post it. It will post in the membership site. So all of you that came today, it will be in the membership site. You don't have to be a member to see this recording. Okay. But anything beyond that, I suggest joining the membership, and it's month to month. If you don't want to do it anymore, it's, just easily cancel. 30-day money back guarantee. So if it's not meeting your needs, I don't want you to hang out and feel like you're being taken care of or taken advantage of. We rather have you feel like you're taken care of.
Right.
So any questions about that?
Just, I have a question on if you have something that you're putting together, can you hire you to be able to edit and?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. In fact, I didn't even mention that, did I? Yes, the reason my business is around is because I help executives, speakers, and entrepreneurs up-level their slides to match their expertise. And they come to me and say, Bridget, I don't even want to touch my slides. Can you do this for me? In fact, I got a LinkedIn email on Sunday. And I'm like, Sunday, man, I watched the Rams play. It's my football day. But I saw the email. She was in dire straits. Her live event was Tuesday. And she says, do you have the bandwidth for this? And it's like, when I get a message like that, I like pop up. It's like, I can come to the rescue. Yes, I can help you. And we worked on her slides. And, a full day event is not cheap, but we just didn't have the time to put in all the expertise that we would for a full day event, but we put in everything we could. So she got it at a reduced rate. She got it on time. We rushed it through. We worked late into the evening and she was thrilled. And I think she was here earlier, wasn't she, Arlene?
I did not see her. Oh, no, she was here. You're right.
Yeah.
She was here.
She must have left. But anyway, so yes, I have a done for you solution. Just reach out to me. Arlene, can you put my calendar link? Do you have that?
Yeah, I do have your calendar.
Okay. So any other questions? Any requests? Is there something that you wished you could have seen that you didn't see? No questions.
All right, how about this? So what I thought was really cool and something that there's just 2 really good tips that I've learned just working with you. And the first is about how important the transitions are. So many slideshows you open up or somebody will present and every slide just goes bang, bang, bang. And it's like, you don't think about it until you see how nice it is with the transition where it will come in with a fade and people don't know how to do that.
To adjust to transitions.
To adjust the transitions, yeah.
Okay, let me talk a little bit about that. So, okay, so here's my slide deck. And you want to know about transitions. So for most all of my slides, I put a transition of fade. Actually, this one has a morph because the arrow is moving around. Remember I showed this earlier?
Yes.
But most other slides are just a fade. And even with videos, I'll fade from one video to the next. These four first slides were videos, and they played automatically one after the other. So I have a training on that in the membership site on how do you get the videos to play automatically and play on time and all that kind of fun stuff. So the main transitions I use are fade and morph when I'm animating something. And morph, if you look at this is a fade. It fades from here to here, but then this morphs. And what the morph does is, let me just play this again so you can see. And all I was doing is walking you through how to navigate Zoom. You know, if you can see at the bottom, if you go to reactions and you click, you'll get the raise hand. So you notice how I click the slide, but I'm telling them to click, and then the arrow points to the raised hand. And then the arrow goes back up here. So then we want to view. And all that is I'm just moving the arrow. So I'm taking a copy of that arrow and moving it in the new position that I want. And because it's the same arrow from the previous slide, it has the same name and number when you imported it in. You don't want to create a new arrow or it won't work. So you have to duplicate that object that you want to move to the move on the next slide. Okay. Like, let's say I'm going to duplicate this slide and I want this to animate down, right? And I want it to be two seconds rather than 1 second. So I'm going to go from
You're
here.
changing that up in the top. Okay.
And I click and it just slowly goes down the list. It's just moving it from one to the next. And I'm telling it how long that transition will go. This is like the basics of animation, but it's so powerful when you understand how simple it is and how you can manipulate that. There's some cool things. I mean, I don't know, some people have seen this, but I don't know if a lot of people
It's
have.
one of my favorite slides.
Yeah. Where is it?
And you can do this all on PowerPoint.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Watch
So
this one.
Get ready. This is the eye candy. Remember I said trick or treat? Here's your treat. So I click. And what this is a series of slides that talks about this client's model. You know, she talked about the sun being your target audience. And then there are 3 planets of your business solar system. And then she talks about the first planet being your marketing message. And then the second planet is your product strategy. And then your third planet is marketing strategy again. Do I have marketing strategy twice? Or did I read it wrong? Oh, product strategy. That's what it was. Okay. And then we put it all together and that's your target market. That was all done with Morph.
So show us, can you go zoom out so that we can see exactly how you did that? It is pretty cool.
Well, join the membership and I will show you how this is done. Or come to the next office hours. I don't want to go into detail on that because it takes a little bit to understand it. But there's a lot of training videos out there. If you want to delve through YouTube, you don't have to hire me. You'd have to pay for a membership. You can find that information. But what I'm creating in this membership is I'm curating content and I'm creating content that's specifically on design, slide design, how to make it better so that it really relates to the audience. I can teach you PowerPoint, I can teach you Keynote, but there's lots of other trainings out there that do that. I could refer you to those trainings. I'd rather spend my time really helping you with the design aspects and the limbic messaging aspects.
I'm putting in the chat again the free gift that Bridget's giving, and that's that 5-video course that shows you some basic stuff about slide design that's so helpful.
Yeah, let me share my screen again.
Extremely, it takes they're about like what, 7 to 12 minutes for each video, but they just show you so much.
Which one are you talking about?
The rise
Oh.
above the rest.
Yeah. Okay, so so this was this is me at a live event, and we're actually behind the curtain, so we can't see anybody. We can't see the stage. We're looking at the stage from this video monitor because that's the video switcher guy. They've got like 3 cameras out front. But I was working at this cardiology conference, and this doctor came in and he wanted help with his slides before he went on stage at 1 o'clock. It was our lunchtime. We were backstage having lunch. And I said, sure, come on over. I'll make the changes for you. He's telling me, change this, change that. And he does this huge sigh. Gosh, I got to learn PowerPoint. And I laughed and I said, yeah, I got to learn heart surgery. And he laughed, because I've spent many years learning this program and learning what makes a great slide and what makes the audience, sit up on the edge of their seats and create that wow factor. And so this was another doctor that came on, and he was one of the more popular doctors, actually the only one. I think everyone else had the same boring slides, but this guy had some really compelling slides, and he had a great talk. He talked about the technology, the new technology coming out in medicine. And he brought up this one slide. There's a map of the US. And he said, this is all the McDonald's in the US. And then he does another slide. He says, and here's all the heart disease in the US. Now, what did you guys notice?
I love that one.
Right? How simple is that? Right? That's a statistic. There's no numbers. We don't need numbers. It's the visual saying, wow,
Yeah.
where all the McDonald's are, there's a lot of heart disease. What does that tell you? And he wasn't bashing McDonald's. He was just saying, we're a culture of fast food, and this is the result. So that's what I'm talking about when you think of the memorable slides. I mean, that was 15 years ago, and I still remember it. So I put my calendar in there, and I think Arlene put a calendar in too. It's the same calendar. Hope you can join the membership, or if you know someone who wants to join, would love to see you guys there. I'm excited. I finally launched it. It's something I've been wanting to do for 5 years. And, not everyone can afford my services, but I still want to make a difference for everybody. So that's why I created the membership site.
Was that, are you in Canada?
I'm in California.
Oh, okay. So that's American, just wondering.
Yeah, no, good point. Yes. And the membership will charge you through PayPal. You can pay with a credit card or a PayPal account, and it will be automatic recurring. So, once you join every month, it will renew at that month, and the content will be direct per month for you. So we're still fine tuning the edges of the software. I mean, it's working now. You can sign up, and but content will start being served up on November 1st. And if anyone signs up before November 1st, I have another special offer. Are you ready?
I didn't know about this one.
What? I know Arlene doesn't even know about this one.
I know.
So I didn't make a slide for this. So this is the Create Slides That Convert website. And if you go to all courses, I have my 5 days to stage boot camp.
Oh, that's
Now,
right.
this is a 5-day training. I think the trainings are 90 minutes each. And there's videos and Q&A and all kinds of stuff. There's 5 sessions. And it retails, I think, well, originally it retailed for $9.97, but I'm selling the recorded versions for $3.47. But if you want to opt in before the 1st, email me and I'm going to give this to you for free. How's that sound?
Hey,
So is your email address the same one you send us the Zoom link?
I think that'll work.
Which one would you like them to use, Bridget? Let's
Um,
put it that way.
Give them my private email, the
Okay,
Bridget at
Bridget.
Babylon Arts. Yeah.
I'll put it in the chat.
It's not an email I publish, but it's what my clients use to reach me. So I get so much email, I don't even read email anymore. It's Arlene going, hey, Bridget, did you see the email? I was like, I didn't see the
Get her
email.
emails.
Tell me what I need to know.
So what do we say when we go there?
When you sign up, just email me to that email saying, I want the boot camp. I just signed up. I can't wait. And I want the boot camp, something like that. I'll know. It's not like there's thousands of you on this call. So yeah, 347 retail. And what I'll do is I'll send you a coupon. And so if you're not a member yet, you'll want to become a member. So it'll ask for, well, you'll be a member because you're going to sign up for the membership site. So then all you do is
Right.
just access, I'll send you the link, and instead of having to pay for it, I'll give you a coupon and I'll give it to you for free, and it'll be in your bucket so that you'll have access to it forever. So
Thanks. Thanks so much.
you're
Thanks,
welcome.
everyone.
Thanks,
I
everybody.
have to go.
See you. Okay.
Yes.
Bye, Ruth.
But I'm going to join though.
Oh,
It'll be
excellent.
great.
So glad.
Thank
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Bridget.
All right. We're going to call it a day. Thanks, everybody, for being here, and we'll see you next time. All right. Bye.
Bye. Bye.